Hey guys. Y'all, I'm gonna do this one's gonna be a little heavy, but we're just gonna do some Google searches. The stuff I'm gonna show you guys, it's just stuff that you can find directly off the internet by doing basic Google searches and on Masonic forums. These are forums that members of the Masonic organization post. I'm not adding anything to it. I'm just going to show you. And y'all come to your own conclusions about what's going on. Okay? So let's go ahead. And I'm sure, here we go. Anyone knows anything about Freemasonry knows that they're really into the goat. Okay, I've already got tabs, but I'm just showing you how I got to it. Okay. Let's look at some imagery. We're on a Scottish Rite website. I'm sure you guys have seen this picture before. It's a pretty famous painting. Masons like to call themselves dogs. Little joke they do. Nothing too sinister here. Right? We all know that painting. I guess the guy who painted that was a Freemason. But going back to our goat. This is another painting that he did. Not as famous. Because it's quite suggestive. Let's just look at the symbolism, the imagery, shall we? Who do we have here? Kind of a grim looking outfit. Pointed top, black mask, robe, shroud, cape. We've got our aspirant, or initiate. And then we've got our goat. Look at where he's placed. Look at the goat's eyes. Wincing. Squinting. What do you think he's doing back there? Got all your other dogs watching. Panting. Is that smoke coming out of that one's mouth? Holding a pipe? The bell? Dinging? Ding ding. Let's keep going. Oh, we've got another picture. Foxy Grandpa. Foxy Grandpa rides the goat. Oh, look at Grandpa go. Holding on to that goat, huh? Picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Oh, here we go. Nice little poem. Come and ride our goat, dear Grandpa. We see you're a Mason true, said the boys as they glanced below at the mortar on his shoe. Think about poetry and art. Except the images and the words can mean so much more, can't they? More than satire. What in the world do you think these guys are meaning? Let's keep going. This is another Masonic website. Y'all, I'm not going to any conspiracy website. This is just straight up Freemason websites. This one is going into a little more of the Masonic goat. The rituals. You can look this up and read it if you want. Where's the forum page? There's the URL. This one actually ties into more of the scapegoat, the idea that the sins of the people might be transferred to a goat, which driven into the wilderness to die, carried away the moral trespasses with which he was symbolically loaded. Doubtless had much to do with the change which came over the complexion of the great God plan when Christianity commenced to rewrite the ancient heathen mythology. Gently, Pan, who harmed no one beyond creating terror, became first satanic. Anyway, it just goes into more, but you get the idea. There's some goat that gets loaded up with the tribe's sins and then sent out into the wilderness to die. The scapegoat. What sins do you think he's carrying? All right, guys, let's keep going. Another Masonic website. A forum. Are these conspiracy guys on here? Or would they be Masonic members? These guys are getting so cocky. All right, let's see. What does this one say? I'm sure many of us before our initiation heard references to a goat. I know at some level it's a mild dose of hazing, which I feel is harmless, but I've also come across some images and some short esoteric works on the goat, so I'm sure there's something more than just harmless hazing. Let's see what some of these fellow members got to say about it. Oh, here we go. Here's what this guy says in comment. In some jurisdictions, is a joke that's played on the new EA, earnest aspirant, I imagine that's what that means, before his initiation. People will ask if he remembered to bring his carrots for the goat, as it might bite otherwise when he asked to ride it. Nay, brother. And this is guy's comment to that. Groan. Wink. Huh. I proudly wear Goat Rider on my jacket. People are too sensitive these days. Let's keep going. That would be a good allegory, particularly since the goat has often been used as symbolism. The most ignoble expressions of passion. Passion. Ride the goat. Don't let the goat ride you. And this guy's got more of their esoteric nonsense on it. Now it's linked to Baphomet and stuff. You can look all that up. Knights Templars, which is another Masonic order. Good morning, brothers. I was initiated into my lodge last night. I was warned of branding and riding a goat for a week before initiation. I knew it was harmless and banter and thoroughly enjoyed the hazing. Let's keep going, here we go. I was at a hermitage in Nashville yesterday, and they had on display a Masonic apron with 3 goat or ram's head on them. What part of the body does the apron cover? Let's keep going. Y'all, this is just a forum that I pulled up. Internet's gonna be slow. That's okay. We can go back to it. I already got a lot pulled up just for that. Thank you, bro. I hope we find a goat strong enough. I ain't a small boy. My assumption is that the crazy anti-Masonic people take the old part of Freemasonry without knowing anything about it when they hear ancient, and we have an altar in the lodge room and assume animal sacrifice. This guy's comment to that could be the case. I'm sure some shrine hillbilly club somewhere would offer that at some point. So the myth about the goat do exist. I almost made the 8-second ride. Let's see. Let's keep going. Oh, our last page couldn't get loaded up. Let's give it another shot. Oh, here we go. I like this guy. He says a little too much. Mr. A.C. Johnson, 53. 8 seconds. He bucks hard to the right. Good luck to you. Wish I could explain more what goat riding has to do with Freemasonry, but as you go through the degrees, you will understand. I was confused until it happened. My goat name was Billy. I almost lasted the full 8 seconds, but he broke left, almost threw my hip out. I'm a big boy, 6'6", 230 then. He threw me and I landed on my head. He threw dirt on me. I took that 3rd step and it was goat poop. LOL. So funny, bud. There we go. My apologies, I'm on mobile and inadvertently clicked on a similar thread after reading the goat thread and bumped a 4-year-old thread. Let's see if I can get this one to come back on. I almost would be willing to bet money after this. They'll probably remove these. Congratulations on being raised, Brother Dickie. Are you pointing visitors to the upstairs and basement restrooms? Wink, wink. So close. In the right general area, though. One's gonna probably go, well, these are just jokes. And That's the funny thing about sarcasm and humor and art. You can get away with saying so much, and yet by saying very little. Let's keep going. Almost done. This is on a Reddit forum. So this one's not, but it's a Freemasonry one. But let's just see. I'm getting initiated to my local lodge tonight. I'm pretty nervous. Already bought some carrots with extra green leaves. LOL. Congrats, I'm sure you enjoyed riding and feeding the goat. Feeding the goat. Feeding the goat their carrots, huh? Carrot. Y'all, perverts are sick. They just really are. But you know, I grew up here in a rural area. A lot of farms. They got all this goat talk. Goat this, goat that. Greatest of all time. But if you grew up in a rural area, you know of some other words for goat. Let's just Google it. A baby goat is called a kid. You think they really got a goat there? You'll make up your own mind. Have a good day.